Hi, I'm Linda from the Turn of the Century, and we're here to want to show you some of my favorite products that we have here for sale. And they are smaller. Yes, they're Twin Pines, but I use them a lot. And this is a process that we go through. This is a doll that Rachel just handed me to look at. I have gone through it. It needs to be redressed, but her clothes, you can feel them. You can feel, Stephanie, I'm here to show Stephanie, they're dirty.
They look dirty too.
And they feel dirty. So, and you can see that they're filthy. So for me, it's easier to clean them real quick. And so I use Perk. This is lukewarm water. You can tell, you just take a small tub. I sometimes use just a shoe box, the clear shoe boxes that you can buy. Anything small. You just need about that much Perk. It's a liquid. It smells so fresh. And then this is Boost. I always use Boost, especially when it is a white. And that was about a half a teaspoon. That's all. But it's a granule, and I'm going to tell, you can see that there's granules. So Stephanie, you need to stir that until the granules are gone. Meanwhile, we'll get the next one ready. Just like doing laundry, I try not to mix colors because you never know if they will fade. But I use Boost and Perk on silks even, but I test it first. When it's filthy, I use it. So when all the granules are gone, then we will submerge this laundry and you will see how filthy and all the dirt that comes out. We will let it soak, for, depending on how dirty it is, I might let it soak for 30 minutes and then retreat it. But then again, I have been known to leave it overnight and come back the next morning and rinse it. And then I put it, you can usually at home, I will put it on towels and lay them out flat so I don't stress the fabric. But around here, sometimes I do that, and sometimes I hang it on my clothesline, which is my trusty fan, and I pin it up there and let the air blow through it. So, is it ready?
Yep, it's ready.
So I'm going to let you put this, submerge it in. Get over there a little closer. You can already see the dirt coming up.
Yep.
Anything that's white, usually, I will put together. So you could go ahead and you could also put that in there.
So,
Why don't we go and put those over there, just so we can see. During this process, I never take and stir it like a wash machine because the fibers are so old and frail. But you'll see all I do is take my hand and keep pushing down to get it started. And that was just one dress and one slip.
it's pretty dirty.
It is. The best part for me is it's nice it presses better. It looks tons better. And it smells wonderful.
It does smell good.
And so when you're working so hard and you want this baby, your doll to look better, why not have her smell better too and be clean? So we're going to let this sit for, let's say, 30 minutes. Depending on this, we might put them back in again and see if we get any more. Hi, it's been 30 minutes now, and if you can see how filthy this water is, And let me go push it away. This was the large dress that goes on the doll. In between, we decided to go ahead and put this other dress in that was brown. Remember I said that I like keeping a colored item by itself? This is why. It sort of faded, it's filthy, but I'm not too sure that's not a little dye. But if it's with its own thing, but it didn't bleed, if you can now see that, it didn't bleed into the white. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take this and dump the water. And okay, this was just the underwear, 2 pieces, and it, you can see it's not quite as dirty, but it did take out a lot. So we're gonna dump this water, have clean lukewarm water, let them rinse, and we're gonna do just this in the sink and rinse it, and I'll rinse it a couple times, and then we'll come and we'll lay it out here on this towel flat, and a couple of the lightweight ones we will maybe take outside, put on a towel, and let them, you know, dry outside too. But we're in a hurry, so we want to get these clothes on the doll. So that's where we're gonna go. So we're gonna go empty water now.
You want both? Or?
Well, you can bring one. How are you gonna get in here? You ready? I'll show you. Just by wringing this out. Still see the dirt. Yeah. I do it just like you would test a baby's bottle. And that's what I judge most of my fabrics from. Okay, you can still see there is some discoloration there. You can see the dirt coming still out. And it's hard to explain, but you can also feel the fibers clean. At this point, I can feel that they're clean, even under the water. So this is going to be clean. And I've been known to...
So you want to rinse it so there's no more bubbles, right?
Right.
Get all the detergent
Make
out.
sure that there's no more bubbles. And see, there's still bubbles. Might be the bubbles from the water going in. It feels clean. Let's just rinse it. Let's see. Hey, waste of water. Yeah, see, it goes away. There you go. Now, Eric, can you see how clean that water is now? So we're going to do that with all of the tubs, and then we'll be back. We have rinsed our garments, and we've just pressed them, basically, show you like this, to get any water out. This garment is very frail, and I do this a lot with all of my clothes. This is where towels you can put in the washing machine. So what I'm going to do is just gently, I have to, there's a little bit of melting going on with this fabric right there. Melting is the separation. So what I'm going to do is basically roll it in the towel to get any excess moisture out. We're going to do that with all of them. So Stephanie, you want to do yours? There's another towel.
Okay, let me give this to Rachel and she'll call you back in a few minutes.
Oh.
She'll tell you what the guy is.
Here's the undergarments. And here. This is the heavier wool dress. So I'm going to lay it out.
Smell much better.
Just,
Thanks,
I
Al.
love
I'll get
this.
right back to you.
It does. Guess I could have taken the price tag off.
No, I'm staying.
Oh well. Oh well.
All right, good.
There we go. Just like Stephanie's doing, she's patting it down. We're getting the moisture out. And I will take, and we will air dry them here. And then they'll be ready to be pressed. And we'll just keep flipping them. And when they're damp, I like pressing them when they're a little bit damp. That way I don't have to spritz them when I'm ironing. And we also have the new ironing board that finally came in. Is a combination of our 4 ironing boards that we use a lot. We have this edge, we have the medium edge, the skinny edge, which is really thin, and a flatter edge. So we have really 4 ironing boards in one. So we're going to be using this. We're back. We are going to do the ironing now of these garments, and this was the one of the garments that I had previously cleaned. This is the little slip. You want to show them?
Yeah.
Stephanie's going to do it.
That we just washed.
And it's already dry. These are the 2 ironing boards we always use. And this is some of what this was patterned off of. These are going to be for sale through the turn of the century. I tend to always use this one, this point, but this is a lot narrower. So we can get a real small sleeve in there. Then I use this a lot for shoving up into the armholes, like right here, to flatten it out, like so. Then this one is really good for different things. You'll find many uses for it, but basically these are 4 ironing board, 2 ironing boards that we put into one. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 ironing boards in one. And Stephanie's going to go ahead and use it, and because we need to go ahead and press, so she's going to press it and show you all the different ways you can do it.
Okay. So it's nice you can do the larger skirt so you can get the skirt, and then it's nice because it narrows for the top of the slip and the neckline and the armhole. So then we can just get, and then we can move it so we can put the armhole at the very smallest end. So you can get the armhole, and then without having to do much, we turn it, and we can also do the straps of the slip.
Here, why don't you take this?
So that part is good. You can use it for larger things. But what I started to do was this little dress, who has some delicate fabric on here. And like Linda said, it's nice because sleeves on little doll dresses are hard to press if you don't have a narrow area. And you don't want something that's too tight, because then that can stress your fabric and create tears. So this, because of the long point, we're able to get a long sleeve in there and rotate it around for part of our sleeve. As she said before, you can use this end to get the top of the sleeve in. So we can get that done in one step, and then also press in our lace. So obviously I'm going very fast, and I would be a lot more particular.
I'm laughing at you because you know my dyslexia. I've got to show you something, how I iron.
Okay, Linda's gonna give us her version.
The backwards version. See, I turn it around since my iron's on this side, and I would iron this way. That's why it's amazing for me to watch somebody that has a different side of the brain. And then I would go like this. I manipulate it so I can, it works for me. I never, my attitude on a tool is to make it work for you.
Right.
And see the difference in our right and left brains?
Yeah. And the nice thing is, if you have larger clothes, then there are some larger ends that you're able to use
Right.
as well.
This way, that sleeve is pretty well finished. I'll just go ahead and finish this bottom
Yeah.
one.
And when I do dresses, sometimes I have a small ironing board, a little doll ironing board on my tall ironing board for the height, so I don't have to bend over too far.
And see, at this point, then I would flatten this out. But it's probably because I tend to be left-handed, but they made me be right-handed. But as you can tell, when we started out, we had it on our other ironing board because I like it up high so it doesn't get in your shoulders. Now you can finish.
Thank you.
Do it the other side of the brain.
The other side of the braid. Well, and sometimes what we end up doing is we start on this part to do the bottom of the skirt. We'll put the sleeves in on this one, and then we do another part. So instead of having 3 ironing boards, you have 1 ironing board. And you're able to rotate it around, do it for whatever size, whether you have very large dolls or very small dolls. So that's what's nice about this ironing board, is that it's universal. And you can figure it out. You can also sit down and iron on a table, however it works for you. Comes with a cover, it's a pillow ticking cover that I'm sure you could replace if you get it stained.
And you can take it off too.
Yeah, you can.
And it's also padded.
Very
So
much
many times when you purchase these ironing boards, they have no padding at all.
Right.
And so it makes it just like ironing on a board, which is hard to get a nice seam and on your clothing. So
Right.
it's nice that it's got a little more padding. This padding has been steamed, so it's down.
But we've also, I think we stained one of them, and then you made a new cover for it pretty easily
Mm-hmm.
too. So either way, depending upon the size of your sleeve, you can use either of the 4 sections. So it's very universal.
Very universal, very quick. And a lot of times when I have something that I need to mend, I'll put it on the small ironing board, and that way I can get it stable a little easier. So I use my ironing board also for sewing.
Yep.
So I just use the tool for everything.
That's right. And the fact that it will do 4 different sizes in one makes it so you have less tools you have to buy. Plus, it's very hard to find very small ironing boards to begin with.
And it's hard to, for the person that's cutting that wood to get it that small, because this is very, very small, even with the padding. With the padding on it, it looks wider, but you can pinch it down.
And if you have something really small, I have a tiny rod that sometimes we also have a dowel. You could actually
have
take
our
the cover
dowels.
off. Yeah, we have some dowels that are just covered in fabric. And we use those. Obviously, these are for very small dresses. So kind of helping to figure out which size you need and the best thing that will work.
Hi, we're back again. I'm Linda Wall, and this is Stephanie Morostica. And we just want to recap what we have in the video earlier. We cleaned the clothes with Perk and the Boost, and we showed you how much cleaner they were. But you can see this dress I did the other day, and it was ready to go for Stephanie. And here's the little undergarments that we just finished earlier in the video. And Stephanie, you want to talk about how much easier it was to?
Yeah, you can tell that they smell better, they iron easier, and this one I had to do a couple of alterations in it, but because it was clean, sometimes when you alter it, you run into dirt patches when you have to take something out. So that's why it's nice to work on a clean dress and clean underwear. So they're ready to go.
And of course, I'll let you talk.
That's right. And we use this ironing board, which has 4 different ends. And that's what I pressed this dress with, and also her underwear, so that we're able to do the sleeves, the collar, or her yoke, and the lace, and get into all the tight spaces. So this was very good. It's nice to use one product, one tool, instead of 3 different tools.
Correct. So hopefully everyone learned a little tip,
Yeah.
and you'll try it soon. So for that, goodbye.
Bye.